Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from Classic Work. Got another good one for y'all today. I've got a piece of steel here. This is a part that I'm making for a tractor, more or less, that I've got to heat treat this. Now, most of y'all probably know that I have my own forge here, but the problem is I can't heat treat something this big. It's, as you can tell, it's about 15 inches long. And I can only create a hot spot in my forge, which is about that big. So obviously you can't do that whole thing. So we're going to do a little bit of improvising, a little bit of redneck engineering. I'm going to show you how to heat treat this with common stuff that you may already have around your home or shop or wherever, and you can get almost the same results if you were to do it with an autoclave or a furnace. So without any further ado, let's get after it and let's get started. Since we have to heat treat a part, I had to build a bigger quench tank because mine wasn't big enough to handle this part. So as you can tell here, I'm just cleaning up the pipe to get it ready to put a base plate on it to hold all the oil in. That's what we're going to use for our quenching meter. I'll pour a little water in here and see if it'll hold it. Let's get on the water. Now it's showing up, test your wood. Don't see any. I think we're good. Some oil for it then. Alright, well right here is the plan. Got a bunch of regular old masonry bricks trying to hold in the heat whenever it gets built up. And my plan is I'm going to take these vice grips off, and when it gets ready, put them on there, come over here to the tank, quench it, and that's pretty much the plan. I've got my mom on speed dial, we got a fire extinguisher, everything should be fine, but you don't ever know. So preparation is everything to doing something like this. So take your time, be steady, and do it right. kind of a big mess to clean up. Oh man. He's a boiling. There wasn't there enough oil in there. God. Probably a good over. Nah, it's probably about 5 gallons. Well, we'll find out if it worked. Let that little baby cool off. I gotta get some oil dry. Okay, I got some good news and I got some bad news. When I was looking at this cooker, I didn't realize that the flame tube down here in the bottom was that far down there. So, in reality, I wasn't getting all the flame up that I could. So if I had to do it over again, I would have cut this pot holder off and made something to stick on top of that flame tube so I could stick that pin on top of there and get much better coverage coming up. You know, still place my bricks up and everything, and that would have helped a tremendous amount. But hindsight's 20/20, as they say. But all's not lost. I think we've got a viable part. You'll probably notice in the video that the heat that you can see on the pin made it to about right here. Video kind of lies to you sometimes. In reality, the heat was about right here, and that's how far the real good affected zone is. Now from here on, it didn't not do it. It just didn't do it as much. So it really has a real even taper from about right here to about right there. So I've got about 80% of the pin here well heat treated, and I think this is going to work just fine because this goes in a knuckle on a boom mower, and its pivot points are about right here, and there's going to be another one about right here. So that's in the section of heat treated zone. So I think we're going to be okay. To give you an example here, I tested that with a diamond file. That's why it's got scratches in it. But this here's a carbide one, and it can't touch it right there. We get on a little further down, and it can touch it a little bit more. So it's not too bad. To give you, for instance, this here is a piece of 4160, and of course I can't cut that. This here's a piece of cold roll, and you can definitely tell I can touch that. So I think it's going to be okay, as far as I know, and I'm going to clean it up. Next thing you'll want to do is get permission from your wife or your mom to use the oven here. So we've got to temper the shaft. Most of the time, you don't always have to temper something, but it's good to put a little bit of temper back in it so it's not so hard, so it gives a little bit of flex. So the oven is a perfect thing to use for that. So I'm going to set this one at 300 degrees. I was going to show y'all what the pin actually fits. We have a New Holland tractor here with a side boom mower on it. And if you can tell, there's a knuckle right there that pin slips into. Now the broke pin was still in there. You can barely tell that there was a little bit of drop in there. That's why that jack was there, to hold that pin up, or to hold the boom up to keep it from falling. So just a little look at it. Now here's the old pin. As you can tell, it broke about a 2-inch piece off the end there. And the new pin, I had to shim it up a little bit because I read the wrong side of the tape measure and cut it an inch oversized by mistake. Fail. But anyways, you can tell it's a much better fit. And being long like that, the heat affected area is more up into the knuckle. So sometimes things work out for reasons you don't understand. But once again, guys, hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. Y'all take care, and God bless.